Unscripted podcast
with your host, Holly and Morgan.
Okay, so we are going to be starting a new series called Unscripted Advice, where we give you advice about different topics, and today's topic is going to be on burnout. And we're going to be doing these videos once a month. If you have any ideas for topics that you would like to see from us, leave it in the comments, and we might pick them to do.
Solid.
Alright, so today's topic, like I said, is burnout, and where should we start?
Burnout sucks. Burnout make me want to pull my hair out.
We're just going to give you guys some... Wait. We're just going to talk about it a little bit and then give y'all some advice on it. Alright. So, this is my big thing with it that I actually wanted to get your opinion on, because I've personally noticed this, and like I just think it's crazy. And I don't know if it's just us, like here in America, or if other countries are like this, but I don't think they're like this based on what I've seen from like Tik Tok and what I've heard from various professors that I've had in my language classes. But basically, we live in a society where hustle is normalized. Like, I hear influencers from LA being like, when I moved here, it was so different because everyone's always on a hustle. Everyone's always on a grind. Everyone's out for themselves. Like, they're always trying to get up. And I'm like, it's different here, but it's still hustle because you're, like, constantly working. And, like, that's how burnout happens, is you're constantly working, you're constantly doing, but that's, like, normal for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, of all ages, too.
Mm-hmm. It's like a problem if you're not. If you're not working every day, if you're not doing something every single day, then you're, like, labeled as lazy.
The other thing that I was reflecting on was how when COVID happened and then everyone was forced to slow down, that was the first time I think we recognized this hustle culture as a society, and then we were like, oh, maybe we should slow down. But I feel like now, 4 years after that, we're just right back in it.
Yeah.
And then you have all these people at that time talking like, oh, we should slow down, we should do this, we should do that, but none of it's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're right back where we were, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I don't think there was a lesson learned there. There should have been, but there wasn't.
Yeah, I think it's crazy because, like, COVID happened in 2020, which is, like, when I graduated. So, like, my hustle was just, like, high school. So, it's, like, you know, not work, because I didn't work until, like, my senior year at the end of the year, which I guess that's 2020. But, like, I was already working in, like, a fast food restaurant, like, 2 times a week. I was fine.
Mm-hmm.
So, I never really, like, I experienced, like, burnout through, like, high school, like, work and stuff. But nothing compared to, like, now that I'm an adult, it seems like things are a lot more real. And I feel like there's a disconnect from, like, 2020 now.
Mm-hmm.
It like threw a block in the road, and then it's like now you have to refigure out everything in that, like, 1 year that was, like, supposed to be a big transition, as people say. Which my transition came a year later after that.
What do you mean refigure everything out?
Like, I don't know, I feel like once I turned 18, like, the whole world was just shut down anyway.
Yeah.
So, like, my first year of being an adult didn't even feel like it.
Yeah.
Plus, I was living at home that year. I think for me, I really just didn't really experience it until I became an adult. Because once I turned 18, like, I actually started working. Like, working, because I didn't want to be home.
I feel like that's normal, though.
Yeah.
High schoolers wouldn't relate as much as, like, maybe people in college, people in medical school, people who work a 9 to 5.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it just depends on who you were in high school. Because, like, my sister was obviously burnt out because she started working at 16. So she would work 30-some-hour weeks and still carry her, like, grades.
Mm-hmm.
And she was in, like, the honors stuff and, like, the honor society and all that crap. So, I'm, like, I can see both sides. Like, for me in high school, like, my hustle came from sports and, like, guard and, like, band and majorettes. While her hustle, because she didn't do stuff like that, came from like working.
Mhm.
I just wish that when I was that age, I took it in more, because I'm like, shit's so much harder now, and I thought it was hard then.
Yep. But I just feel like we shouldn't live in a society where hustle is normalized. And what I mean by hustle is constantly being on the go, constantly working, constantly doing this. And don't get me wrong, that's great. And working for your dreams is amazing, but it's different when you're wearing yourself out and getting burnt out because you're doing too much. Like, what I mean by hustle is putting too much on your plate, doing too much, and then feeling like it's a chore.
Yep.
Because that's different from just working on your dreams, trying to move up the ladder. Like, that's different. And I do recognize the fact that you have to hustle to get there, but it shouldn't be exhausting.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be taxing. It shouldn't be normalized that you have to kill yourself to get somewhere.
Yep.
That's my problem.
Yeah, I agree.
And then that's my second point is whenever we're constantly work, now we don't know how to slow down.
Yep.
And my biggest thing is that, for example, whenever I try to meditate, or whenever I do my stretches, or whenever I just do yoga in general, I find it so hard to slow down my thoughts, because I'll be like, oh, I need to do this. Oh, I should have done this today. I need to do this. I have this coming up, and I need to do that to prepare. And it's just like, why is it so hard for me to just slow down and be in the present moment? And I try so hard. I try to push the thoughts out of my head, and I know I should just try to let them flow, but it's just hard for like my brain to slow down because I'm so used to always having something to do.
Yep.
Or even like when I'm just sitting doing nothing, it's hard for my brain to not wander on tasks that I should be doing.
It's like even little things feel like a chore. Like coming home from work and knowing I have to wash my face before I can even go to bed. That's a chore. But I'm not going to put my makeup on. I mean, when I was at my peak burnout, every single thing in a day was a chore. There's like bullet point list of things that had to be done in the day. Like, I don't mind. Or like, I feel like if I have a day off, I can't just have a day off. I have to be doing something because I've worked all these days in a row, so now I need to do this to make up for the time I've lost while not being here to do the things I need to do now.
Yeah, it's like it's all work and no play. Like, I feel like it should definitely be like, I don't know, like at least a 60-40. Like, it doesn't have to be 50-50, but like at least a 60-40.
It's like a 95-5. That's how it feels. That's like 5% of my time is spent on fun. And then every other bit of my time is doing things I have to do. Like, bruh. My problem is, like, when you're in your peak burnout, like, you glorify just getting to sit on your ass. And then I do that, and I'm like, bruh, I don't want to just be sitting here. Like, I can do this, and this. And I'm like, but your body needs to rest.
Yep.
You need to not do it because you're killing yourself in the process. I'm like, fun. Every day, bro.
Yeah, so circling it back, I just feel like this go is normalized in our society, and I really just think maybe we should take a step back and realize what's happening, and it's so important to be present and not wish for the future.
Oh, I get it, because like you said, not wish for the future. I feel like something I'm wishing for the future right now is literally for like the beach. I'm like, I just gotta get through these 3 weeks, which is almost 2 now, and then be at the beach. Life will be great. And then I'm like,
yeah, and then you get back, and then it's like the same thing all over again, and you're wishing for this, and it's like, but what about all the in between?
That's me. Second school starts. I'm like, oh, I can't wait for this break. I can't wait for this day off. I can't wait until this day. or I have this on this day, so I'm excited for this day, rather than being present, which is something I've had to learn through this past year, is to be present and to live in the present moment rather than worrying about the future, because all that does is bring you down.
Yeah.
And then that makes your burnout even worse, because you're, like you said, wishing for the future, and you're like, well, hell.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why time feels like it moves so fast on a collective level, like not personally, but collectively, I've heard so many people say, oh, time moves so quickly, time goes by so fast. It's big, like, obviously this is not the only reason, but I feel like one of the main reasons is because we wish it away. We're like, I'm waiting for this, and when I get here, I'm gonna feel happy.
Yep.
Instead of trying to be happy in life, period.
Yeah, that's something I literally talked about. Either it was a YouTube video or it was in therapy. But it's being happy with the now rather than being, I'll be happy when I have this. And that's another thing about money is I'll be happy when I have this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be happy when I get the brand new this. I'll be happy when I can afford this.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, you basically already have everything you ever need.
Yeah.
Everything else is just extra.
And I get, life can be mundane sometimes, but you're never gonna find that happiness if you're searching for it in the future, because the future doesn't exist.
True.
If that makes sense.
Come on, if you're gonna come sit on me, come sit on me.
I've gained a new guest.
Here's our guest.
So yeah, it's the future, it doesn't exist.
He wants you.
Bruh. Decided to trade spots. Anywho, it's the future only exists in our minds. And the past only exists in our minds as well.
True.
Does anything I'm saying making sense to your head?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to say it in simple, plain terms.
I'm laughing at the first part of this because it's an interrogating interview. Is how I'm sitting. I'm like. Anyway, I think yeah.
Do you have any other words to make it make more sense? Because I can't think of any.
I feel like what you're trying to say is, I feel literally, I was looking it up last night, and it was burnout comes from thinking too much about the future or too much about the past.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, it's the truth. And you're only burned out because the thing I'll get so burned out about if I work, literally every time I ever have to work 4 days in a row. That first day, I'm just bruh, this week's gonna suck. I'm I don't want to freaking do this.
Mm-hmm.
This sucks. I don't want to go to work every single day. I hate driving to Ashland. I don't want to do it. It's dread. So then the dread turns into burnout, which used to trigger my anxiety like crazy. Because I'm great, I have to do this for freaking 4 days. And it sucks. So now I'm in burnout the first day. But I'm trying to predict the future. And I'm already setting a bad tone for my work week.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm trying to tell myself when say I'm working Monday through Thursday, I'm telling myself on Monday this week's gonna suck. This week's gonna suck. You just told yourself that, so have fun.
Yeah.
But
and it's your reality.
Yeah, your thoughts are your reality. Unfortunately, don't take that too seriously because my anxiety did. I said so. If I say my car's gonna break down, then I think it, then it's my reality. And my car's gonna break down, then I'm gonna kill myself. It's more about your negative thoughts about life, life sucks, or why does this always happen to me? That's the crazy mindset, bro.
When people say that, I'm what is wrong with you?
That's 2020 me.
My mom says that kind of stuff. She's just me being me.
Bro.
And I'm if you think that, that's your reality.
Yeah.
And I'm just people don't understand, what you think is your reality.
Mm-hmm.
If you think you're poor, you're poor.
Truth.
If you think you're depressed, you're depressed. And I know sometimes it's not that simple,
Mm-hmm.
but a mindset switch is
it's reframing your mind. Why does this always happen to me? I've changed over the years of, this suck, but what is it doing for me? Everything happens for a reason. So even though this might suck, what is the reason this is happening to me? And that helps me have a better outlook on it rather than why is everything always happening to me?
Mm-hmm.
Because, for one, like, I'm a very fortunate person, be for real. So, what do you mean? And it's always the drama about it, too. It's always something stupid. Like, I go outside and step on a rock. Oh, man, why is this happening to me?
Yeah.
Like, be for real. You step on a rock. Get over yourself. Like, it's never some, like, detrimental shit. It's always something about, oh, man, I broke my ankle. Like, yeah, it sucks, but, I mean, when did you break your ankle 5 weeks ago? No. So what you mean, why does this always happen to me?
And you know what? Also, people need to just accept their reality.
True.
Why are you wishing it away? Accept your reality and do the best that you can with it.
Mm-hmm.
Stop wishing for this future version of you.
Yeah.
Stop wishing for things that you could have. Accept your reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's something I've definitely got better at this past year in general, but just in the past few years of, like, accepting, like, literally, like, this is my reality. And, like, that's, like, even with my, like, car problems, I'm like, well, I, like, will literally look around and be like, well, this car's better than, like, a lot of the things I drive past every day. And I'm sure someone drives past my car and goes, man, I wish I could have that car.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just accept your reality. And that doesn't mean don't look forward to the future and plan out your future and want better for yourself. That's not what that means. That just means suck it up. And that's another thing. Your reality is temporary if you want it to be. If you want to stay at the same job, if you want to stay where you're comfortable, if you want to be lazy and not work out, then that's going to be your reality.
Yep.
But literally, your reality can be temporary. Your life is what you make it, and your life is what you want it to be. And you cannot change my mind on that.
True. Because, like, I've heard from some people that, like, live here. They're like, why did I have to be born in this state of all states?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, that's crazy, because how old are we now? You can move wherever you want. Like, you don't have to stay here. I didn't stay in my hometown. I didn't want to. I left. Like...
It's your reality. Deal with it, and...
I said, peace.
Yeah, I mean...
You are the creator of your reality. I have the job I have because I applied for it. That's unfortunate. I asked for it. Unfortunately, I asked for this position, and I knew what I was signing up for.
Yeah.
I said, this job will pay the bills. I have retail experience. I'm going to go work this job. Even though I really don't want to drive to Ashland, but it pays the bills, so I'm going to have to do it anyway. Oh, man. Okay, I'm literally about to shift my reality in a few weeks.
Exactly.
Like, I only have to stay at that job as long as I want to stay there. If I wanted the new job so bad, I could quit tomorrow and find a new job in a week. Be for real. Like, there's anywhere I can't find the job. No, you can't find the job you want.
Yep.
That's the difference. Like, the thing is, there's so many jobs. I mean, I don't want to work at freaking McDonald's, but if you absolutely badly need a job, they are hiring. Always. I literally seen this on YouTube last night, or, like, on TikTok. And it was like, it was literally Tana freaking Mojo of all people. They were coming at, hello? I don't know who they were coming at. I don't want to say the name because it doesn't matter. But they were just like, because this guy was like, I'd rather be doing this than to go work at Lululemon. And she's like, you're literally making yourself, like, you're putting yourself above others. Like, that's like literally me saying my job's better than a McDonald's job. Like, no, they both pay the bills. It's just preference. I would rather not do that.
Yeah.
So I drive a freaking 600 million years to go work a job that I would like to work because that's what my preference is. But it doesn't mean that the person working at McDonald's is any less than me. Like, nah. That's what you want. That's convenient for you.
Exactly.
If I didn't have a car, that would be convenient for me, and I'd unfortunately have to do it. Like, that's just how it is. But yeah, I seen that shit last night and I said, truth.
Okay, so into the advice portion, after a long tangent
That
of
really has nothing to do with burnout.
a little bit of everything.
It started with burnout.
It did. And then it trailed. We trailed.
Whoops, guys.
Okay. Personally, when I'm feeling really burnt out, the reason why I keep going and don't give up is because of my why. or in other words, having a goal. And my thing is if your heart's not in it, then don't do it.
True.
Switch it up. Do something else. Work towards something else. You can always rethink your goals. You can always switch your path. Always. You are never stuck. And I think maybe that's something you deal with sometimes, is feeling stuck, but you're not. Like, you're never stuck. Like, you never have to stick with a certain job. There are always other jobs. You don't have to stick with a certain career path. There are always different paths you can take. There are always different opportunities. You just have to look for them.
Mm-hmm.
If you want them, they will come. You have to look for them. You can't just be like, this is going to change in my life, without making an effort for it to happen.
Mm-hmm. That's a big thing. I mean, I even say that, like, literally about my degree right now. Like, everyone's like, well, what are you going to do if you don't like it? Find a new job? Duh. Like, people annoy me with that crap. Like, what do you mean, what am I going to do if I don't like it?
Mm-hmm.
And the question answers itself. What do you do when you don't like some food? You don't freaking eat it. If I don't like the job, I'm not going back. I'm going to find a different job. So I won't be giving up my whole entire career if I have a bad experience at one school. I'll just go to another school. That's what I'm going to do if I don't like it.
Or if you have a bad experience with one class, one set of kids, that doesn't mean that the next group will be terrible.
Literally. It's just like power through what it is and then move on. You're getting paid one way or the other.
And that's the thing. Accept your reality and make it better. There's things you can do to improve your reality.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, something I found that helps me when I'm feeling burnout would be to not pile too much in one day, but to make a schedule for things that need to be done. Because when I'm feeling burnout, like, I let a lot of things pile up because you feel so stuck, which is like something I literally seen on TikTok the other day as well. It was like, when you're feeling burnout, this is what it was. This is how I feel at work. This is how I feel, like, while I'm working. Is like, you feel so like you have to show up for this, that you let things for yourself slip.
Mm-hmm.
And I find myself doing that all the time. So focused on everything else that I, like, if my room's dirty, it's like, who am I impressing rather than me? It's my room. That's something I can let slip. Or like when I let my closet pile up like that, it was, who am I impressing with my closet? It's my closet. I can let that slip. Or like when I, like, didn't have time to go, like, clean my bathroom, I could let that slip.
And then once it gets that bad, you don't want to do it because it feels like such a huge task.
Yeah, because now it's huge because you left it for so long because you could, because it was the only thing that you, because, like, when you're that burnt out, it's like you have so much stuff piled up in your head already. So it's like, what one thing can I let go to have a little bit of release from this, like, heavy feeling?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, Jesus, that's so true, because that's literally how I felt not even a month ago.
Yeah.
And I literally have don't pile too much into one day, because then I'd also do that, where it'd be like, I'd work 4 days, have a day off, work 4 days, have a day off. That crap was crazy. Like, that's not even normal. Like, even a 9 to 5, you still have 2 days off, and they're usually consecutive. I'd rather do 5 days and have 2 days off every week for the rest of my life, which is basically what it's gonna be. But then the one day I'd have off, I'm like, well, heck, I gotta clean my room, I gotta clean my closet, I gotta clean the kitchen, I gotta do the dishes, I gotta do this. And now I've spent the whole day doing crap that it didn't do nothing. I didn't even have a day off because I just gave myself 1,000 things to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have scheduled it out. So, if you have like 2 days off in a week, allow one of those days to just be a chill day.
Yeah, or another thing would be to do something small each night.
True. I haven't even never thought of that, but like I feel like I've gotten better about doing that even too.
Mm-hmm.
Of like just splitting it up and like just because you work doesn't mean you can't do anything that day.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's a lot easier said than done because like now I feel that way, but even like a month or two ago I would not have felt that way. I would have been like, well, nights are the only times I have, so why would I want to spend my time doing more things when I've already done enough today? I feel like a lot of my burnout has gotten better because my work schedule's gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've had these vacations, so it's forced me to have days off. And then now I've requested, like, I'll purposely go in and request days off now just so I know those are days off I'll have. Because I'm not doing the 4 days ever again. Like, I'm not doing it. Because they take advantage of that crap, and then you're working all freaking day, every single day. Like, I don't even care to work 3 days in a row. I don't care, like, if I were to have to work 4 days in a row next week, I wouldn't even care because I haven't had to do it in so long.
Mm-hmm.
But when it was every single freaking week,
yeah, that's crazy.
And then my only day off, I'd already have enough plans to do something because I haven't had a chance to do it any other day. And then I feel like I'm neglecting every single freaking relationship I have. I'm like, I can't hang out with this person. I can't do this with this. Like, I'm like, me and you can never like hang out doing anything. What's our hanging out? Coming home after I'm at work, and I'm like,
yeah,
KMS. And then I'm like, I can't ever go home to see my family because I don't have time for it. And I'm like, I'm just sitting in the middle of everything, like, woohoo! This is life. So yeah, I guess that leads into another one. So I guess I can put that with it. Is like, which goes with scheduling. Is like, if you have the flexibility in your schedule for work, then request days off or make an availability change. Mm-hmm. Like, if your job is like open from like 7 days a week, if I were a full-time manager and I had to work if I had to work 35 to 40 hours a week like our full-times do, I feel like just being strategic with your days off would help a lot.
Yeah.
So basically, the moral of the story for my first point is break your tasks down one day at a time. Mm-hmm. Take your time on things. Don't stress yourself out. And I mean, I wouldn't say do it, but if you have to do it, just let your room slip. But when you're in that like peak moment, like, it really is just how it is.
Okay. My next piece of advice would be to know your why and have a strong why or have a strong goal that you're working towards, and like have a specific goal. Like, this isn't, oh, I'm gonna work out to work on my body. No, that's not specific. A specific goal would be, I want to build a stronger version of myself in the next month by doing blank. And that's something specific that you can work towards with a time constraint. And I think that if you have strong goals and a strong why, it helps you to not be as burnt out because you feel like you're working for something. You feel like what you're doing has a purpose. That's the biggest thing, is feeling like what you're doing has a purpose and it has to be done because of this. Mm-hmm. And I think that helps with not feeling as burnt out because you feel like you're working towards something. Mm-hmm. I feel like I even feel like that way with work. Like, I have to work to be able to afford things I need. So there's a purpose there. Because that's like a lot of people say, it's like you're working for this big company that doesn't even know your name. So who cares? And I'm just like, I mean, yeah, but you're still like, you're working for yourself at the end of the day. Like, they're paying you to do a job. Mm-hmm. And like, most of these jobs aren't hard. My job's not hard. I'm an assistant manager. I relate that with working out as well. Because like, some days I wake up and I don't want to get out of my bed and I don't want to work out and I just don't want to move. And I'm like, the last thing I want to do right now is get out of my bed and go work out. Because, brother, I don't want to get out of my bed. I'm warm. I'm warm and I'm tired and I could go back to bed for another hour. But instead I get the heck up out my bed anyway and cry about it. I'm just like, I don't wanna. But I do it anyway. And I mean, sometimes I'm like, I don't know why I'm doing this. But I'm like, obviously there's some little speck in that brain that does, because I still do it anyway. Yeah. And then you have a wake up moment and you're like, this is why I'm doing this. True. Because now I look in the mirror and I'm like, I can see like progress. That word. Alrighty, guys. I've got a cat farm over here. Literally. She has officially collected all the cats. All of them. All two. All two of the cats. Anyway, guys, so my next one is do something for you and put yourself and your needs first. Mm-hmm. I think that's a big one I had to learn the hard way. Like, the extremely hard way. Like, anxiety attack, crybaby fit, hard way. Yep. Because I feel like even during burnout, that's the biggest thing. Like, I literally was explaining earlier, is like letting your room slip, letting things slip in your own like space because you can. Because you feel like you're trying to put on this show for everyone else. You're trying to please everyone else. Like, it's just, yeah, it's wild. Burnout sucks. It do be sucking, bro. But that's my thing. Is like, I feel like do something for you. And I struggled with this for a hot minute because I was just like, I don't think I have time to do something for me. But then like I had to change my perspective.
Because even working out in the morning for an hour and a half is doing something for me.
Mm-hmm.
Waking up early and going to the gym is doing something for me. I feel like even working, like picking up another shift on your day off, I feel like that's doing something for you too, which is that's a hot take itself. But I just feel like it is because like I'm making more money for picking up this shift, and if I have the gas in my car and I don't have anything planned, why not?
Yeah, I feel like at the end of the day, who are you constantly with? Yourself. So please yourself.
Yep.
Put yourself first. Who are you with at the end of the night? You. Who are you constantly working with? You.
I think that's like literally one of the first things I learned when I was like going on this journey to figure out what the heck my like deeper problem was. Like one of the first things I heard on like my like research was literally like you're with yourself your whole life. That's the one person who's always going to be there. Like no matter where you move, it's you. No matter what you do, it's you. When you're in your car, it's you.
Yeah.
Like and I think that's something I literally learned in therapy too. Like I'm pretty sure it's been brought up. Like at the end of the day, the only person you're ever going to be like, the only person you have to please is yourself because that's who you're with until the day you die.
Mm-hmm.
From the day you come out the bus till the day you die, it's just you. Like everyone else is just an add-on to make that experience better. They can make it better or worse, and that's your decision on what you do in your life.
Absolutely.
If you want to have a bad experience, then you go be friends with those piece of crap people.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got time for it. I ain't wasting my time no more. I done it enough years. Too many of them.
Yep. My next piece of advice would be to give yourself something to look forward to. And this doesn't mean wish away your present at all. This just means it kind of goes with the goal thing. This kind of just gives yourself a goal that you can look forward to. For example, this could be going on a vacation, and it doesn't have to be that big. You could just be like, I'm going to work on my body in the gym because I'm going on this vacation, and then I'm going to stick with it because of how it makes me feel. Or after I get through this week of work, I'm going to buy myself a coffee as a reward. So it's not wishing for the future. It's just giving yourself something to look forward to kind of help with feeling burnt out or to help get your mind off of what you're currently going through. Because like I said, your present reality is temporary no matter what, always. It's constantly changing. So if you need to give yourself a little pick-me-up, if you need to give yourself something to look forward to, then do that. And it can be big or small.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I struggle with that a lot though. Like I overspend because I tell myself it's treating myself because I never get to do this because this past pay period I didn't have the money for it, so now I do, so I'm gonna spend it.
Yep.
Or like that's what happened with Plato's money. Like I still have some left over, so I'm so rich and so cool. But like that was my biggest thing is like it's money I didn't have, and I wasn't able to get this when I got paid, so I'll just get it now because I have it now, rather than saving it for anything else. Because like we were talking about this the other day, is I don't think about the future when it comes to money. I think about the now.
Mm-hmm.
But if I thought about the future, then I feel like I would be better with it.
Yeah.
But I don't think about the future at all when it comes to spending. I'm just like, right now this is what I want. Whoops. But yeah, that's something I plan to work on in general. That's just a personal problem.
Mm-hmm.
But
that sounds like a you problem.
that's a you problem, you freaking peasant bitch.
Whoa.
Yeah, you know, I am gonna be a peasant if I don't learn how to spend. I'm gonna be a beggar on the side of the street.
Oh God.
So my last one is no matter what, don't give up.
Because literally get cut off. The only way to fail is to not try.
True. Very much true. True. That's the only words for the rest of it. Okay, guys, it's nice to know you. Bye. True. But I feel like that's the biggest thing is not giving up. Because if you give up, you're only hurting yourself.
Yes.
Like, what am I gonna get by? Like, that's where that comes from. Of like, when I'm feeling burnt out, I don't want to go to work. But what am I gonna get if I don't go to work? Nothing for myself. I'm only hurting myself because they can call someone in at work. I'm not hurting them. If anything, I'm just pissing people off.
Yep.
So now I'm hurting myself because I don't care if they're mad at me, be mad. But like, I'm hurting myself because now I'm out probably $80 plus. So I'm like, okay, so now you just screwed yourself, and now what are you gonna do? Because I promise you can do it a different day.
It's like people will call off because they think they're doing themselves a favor because they can just sit and do nothing. You're only hurting yourself. You're not hurting the company. They don't care.
They don't care. They'll call someone in.
Yeah.
And if they can't call someone in, then they'll just go, oh well, looks like someone else has to pull off your weight now.
Yep.
Like you just screwed someone over, so you can sit on your ass. Like, hello? If you want to have a day off, request a day off. Like, ugh. But yeah, that's a personal problem people I work with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why you gotta call off all the time? Quit so we can rehire somebody. Or not rehire, so we can hire someone to take your place because you don't want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Then I guess the one that doesn't really go with it, but it's one I want to add is communicate, because no one knows how you're feeling except for yourself, and they can't read your mind.
Yep.
So
communicate with your managers, your coworkers, your friends, whoever.
Your friends, your family, anyone in your life.
If you're feeling burnt out and you don't want to hang out one day, that's a good enough excuse. You don't have to go do anything.
Exactly. Or elaborate and apologize 100 times.
Yeah.
Like, that's me all the time. Overanalyzing, over apologizing was a huge thing. Of like just constant worry, because like when you're in that like mindset, it's like everything is amplified.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like without communication, no one knows how you feel. No one knows what you're going through. And that's another thing, is you never know what someone else is going through.
Yep.
Ever. Unless they tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, people leave shit out. So, communicate, dogs, because no one can do it for you. And no one can read your mind. No one can tell what you need.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys.
Is that all?
Yeah. I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so if you made it to the end of the episode, go and comment a coffee emoji so that we know that you made it. And we will see you guys in next week's episode.
Bye, dogs.
Bye-bye.